Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Shuril, and you're watching Modest Millennial, where we talk about all things money that they don't teach you in school. In my MBA program a couple years ago, I took a finance class that talked about some of these fundamentals, these concepts that we are discussing these days. And one of the terms I remember talking about in the class was the concept of compound interest. My professor at the time threw up this chart on the screen showing the power of compound interest and what it can do with your money over the course of the long run. And I still cannot forget to this day how astonished I was to look at the chart. This was the life changing thing I really needed in my life to start thinking about investing in terms of long term returns and not just short term profit. I had been investing for a few years at this point, guys, but never really understood the power of compounding your gains to become rich quicker than you could ever imagine. In today's video, guys, I'm going to try to pass on some of this wisdom I acquired from this finance class and hopefully put you guys on a path to financial freedom faster than you could ever imagine. So, guys, please don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel down below so you can get smarter with managing your personal finances each week. First of all, we're going to start by talking about what compound interest really is and why it matters in the world of finance or the world of investing. Compound interest is one of the most basic financial terms and an important one that you need to understand to plan for your future by wisely managing your money. Compound interest, simply put, is interest on interest. With the power of compound interest, you are earning interest on your invested money that is already earning interest in the market. This interest that you earn today will earn more interest tomorrow and the day after and the day after and so on. This might not sound that interesting, guys, but this sets your money up on a path of its own where it's working for you each day and earning for you each day. With compound interest, you are basically employing your money to make more money for you. And with each passing day, as your money earns more compound interest, your wealth keeps on growing significantly. Think of your money as being your employee. Your money works for you and brings in compound interest each day. This, in turn, increases the number of employees you have, which in turn brings in more money each day. And all you have to do, guys, is pay these guys the money just once in the beginning, and they will do all the work for you throughout your life. Now, let's try to understand this concept with the help of an example and really try to see how compound interest can do wonders with your money. Here, you have a starting principal or the amount you invested in the market of $10,000. At the end of year one, your $10,000 has grown by, say, 10% and become $11,000. Now, at the beginning of year two, your money invested in the market will be $11,000 and not the $10,000 you initially started with. This means that at the end of year two, given that you still get a 10% return in that year, you are getting this return on the $11,000 and not on the $10,000 that you started with in the first place. At the end of year two, then, you will have a grand total of $12,100, guys. This cycle keeps on repeating itself until one day your wealth is worth a gazillion dollars and you're literally the richest person in the world. I'm just kidding, guys. You're not, in fact, going to have a gazillion dollars by doing this, but I assure you that if you follow the course, you will end up with at least a few million dollars to your name. Guys, let's try to look at this in terms of a chart and see what your initial investment of $10,000 would really look like at the end of a 30-year period of compounding interest if you were to average a 8% return over the course of the entire 30 years. Whoa, look at this, guys. Your $10,000 has now grown into well over $100,000 with compounding interest without you even touching that money or putting extra money into the account each month. Now imagine if you were adding an extra $1,000 to this investment each month. Let's take a look at that real quick. Well, I cannot believe my eyes, guys. Your money has grown really, really big and has now surpassed the $1.5 million mark. And if you see here real quick, you only contributed about $360,000 over the course of the 30-year period. See, guys, this is how powerful compound interest really is. Your money has grown as much as 5 times in the 30-year period that you invested it. This is why you should understand this concept early in your career to get the full benefit of the power of compound interest. Now, let's take a step back and focus on why you should be investing and taking advantage of the power of compound interest early on in your career rather than later. Like I said before, guys, compound interest works over time, and the more time you spend in the market, the more your money will grow. Also, the more money you have invested in the market, the faster your money will grow. Just imagine, guys, most of us that are just starting out with our careers don't have access to a lot of money to invest. There are rent payments due every month. We love eating out and partying each week and also want to drive the fanciest car that we possibly can. However, if you start putting in just $1,000 each month, starting early on in your career, it can make a huge difference in the amount of wealth you will be able to generate than it would if you started a little late in your career. Here, I have drawn up an example for you to explain what I mean by what I just said. So, let's consider that you are 23 years old, fresh out of school, and you are just starting out with your career. You make a conscious choice to put in $1,000 away into your investments for the next 10 years, and then just stop putting money for whatever reason. By the end of the 10 years, you would have now put $120,000 in, and this money has been earning compound interest this whole time. Now, in 30 years, by the time you are 52, this money will have grown up to almost $1 million at an average 8% rate of return, which is great, right? Now, imagine if you were someone like me who just partied throughout their 20s and drove fancy cars and wore fancy shoes and realized 10 years after our smart guy from before that you need to be investing for retirement. Now remember, our smart guy has already stopped putting any more money into their retirement account before you even realize that you need to be investing for retirement. You wake up and start out putting $18,000 instead each year, which is more than the $12,000 the smart guy was putting in. And you keep putting this $18,000 each year until you turn 52. What you have unknowingly done, guys, is that you have given 10 years less for your money to compound and in turn kicked yourself in the foot. Your money that you started investing at the age of 33 has only grown up to be marginally higher than the smart guy's money who started investing 10 years before you and had already stopped putting any more money in by the time you realize you need to be investing at all. Also, the smart guy only put in $120,000 to get almost the same exact net worth, whereas you put $360,000 in the next 20 years. 3 times of what the smart guy put in for basically the same amount of return at the same point in time. So guys, there you have it. In the world of finance, a little bit of research goes a long way. All you need to do is start as soon as you can and keep putting money towards your goals so that your future self can thank you in about 20 to 30 years worth of time. Also, the more money you have saved up in your early years, the more peace of mind you will have when the market fluctuates significantly like what we have been experiencing in the past year. So guys, do not wait until you have more money to start investing and make it a habit to invest some money, even if it's a few $100s each month, so that you get the full benefit of compound interest. It is really important to understand how compounding works. So if you still have questions about what we just talked about today, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. And guys, as usual, please don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel down below so that you can get more finance related info for you to manage your money wisely.